Well, hey there, YouTube. I had a fella email me. He told me he was a newbie to CB radios and amplifiers, and he wanted me to explain to him how to set the dead key when running an amplifier. So I just got that email today, and I figured instead of just replying back to him in the email, I told him I'll just make a video. I figured it may benefit some people. You know, Um, I know most of you guys know how to do this stuff, but there's always new folks trying to learn. Now, one thing that drives me crazy, and I see it in these Facebook groups and CB radio groups and these other types of settings all the time. Someone will say, let's just use this for example, okay? I have this radio, I'm running this amplifier. Where do I set my dead key? Instead of giving the proper answer, you're going to have 50 guys come back. Half watt dead key, 1 watt dead key, 1.5 watt dead key, 2 watt, 2.5, 3. It'll go all the way up to 5. Someone will throw in their 10 watt dead key. It's all over the place. You can't tell, even if you have the same radio and the same amplifier, right? And you know what yours does, you just can't tell someone, yeah, put it at a 1.5 watt dead key. It'll be fine. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Everything changes from setup to setup. Your antenna, this is on a dummy load, but everything changes, whether it's a mobile environment, you have it set up as a base station, what type of antenna, what type of coax, what your voltage is on your power supply. There's so many things that can change. There's so many different variables. So, in my opinion, and the way I've always done it, and I will always do it, the proper way to do it is how many final transistors do you have? Okay? Find out what the manufacturer recommends. This one has DEI transistors in it. Okay? It's a straight 4. The Texas Star 500. But, let's say you're going to buy an amplifier, from the guy I would buy an amplifier from. I would only buy a new custom-built amplifier from Jim at 307. That's my preference. Doesn't matter if you buy one from Jim, if you buy one from Donkey Stomper, if you buy one from Big Dog Amps, whoever these builders are out there. The HG, the standard HG 2879s, not the C's, just a regular HG 2879s, which, probably 90% of builders are using now. The manufacturer recommends 25 watts output per transistor. I know a lot of you guys run them a lot higher. You push them higher. I know you can. I don't. So let's say you have a 4-pill. Okay? 42879, HGs, DEIs are basically the same dang thing. 25 output per transistor. 4 transistors. That's a 100 watt dead key it calls for. Set it at a 100 watt dead key. When you modulate, it'll swing up where it needs to go. The amplifier is going to run cool. You're going to get more audio that way. It's going to last. Okay, so let me show you this here. I just hooked this up. I don't even have anything set up really. We're just going to run the mic gain all the way open on this. The RF power is going to be all the way down. We're going to go over here. This shows PEP only. We're going to go over here. We're on the 5 watt scale, and I'm going to dead key it, okay? That looks to be right about 1/2 watt dead key. That's what we're going to call it, 1/2 watt. Okay, RF power all the way down. Now we're going to turn the amplifier on. Usually, you'll want to run, if you have a variable, you'll want to run it all the way open. If you can get your dead key down, that's usually the best way. But there is a variable there for a reason. You can use it. Okay, on the Texas Star amps, power only, get you high power. This is high power AM. When you push the dial a watt, that's low power. You can also use the dial watt. but this cuts it down. Usually your dead key by half. That's your receive, that's your signal coming in. It'll amplify it. Usually, in my opinion, they're worthless. That's your delay. In this particular amplifier, that's if you're going to be running sideband. You push that in so you have a delay. So we're just going to do it on high power. Variables all the way open. Half watt dead key. We're going to see where this amplifier dead keys. We're going to put it on the 250 watt scale. I'm going to key the microphone. Shy of 50 watts. We're going to call that 45 watts, okay? So if you remember, I said 4 2879 transistors, we want a 100 watt dead key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this here. Hopefully you guys can see the meter. Okay, you can. And I'm going to turn the RF power up on the radio. You can see that we now have a 100 watt dead key that's coming out of the amplifier. Okay. Now if you remember before on the 5 watt scale we had just shy of half a watt. Let's go back. I'm going to turn the amplifier off and I'm just going to key the radio up. So we're now shy of a watt and a half. We have about 1.4 watts, what it looks like to me. So this setup right here in this environment, if we only want a 100 watt dead key coming out of this particular radio likes a 1.4 watt dead key. Can you run it more? Can you run a 150 watt dead key? Sure you can. You know, is it going to last as long? Who knows? I've got a fan on this one, the fan's on, this thing will run all day. Just for the hell of it, let's see what kind of power it makes. Keep in mind, this is a PEP meter. This meter probably does show a little fluff, but these other meters don't read PEP, so this is the one I use. Now let's just see what it shows on the 1000 watt scale. I'll turn the amp back on. I have not touched the dead key on the radio at all. See that? It shows the same thing, 100 watts. Because there's your 50 right there, there's your 100, there's your 250, so that slash right there should be 100. That's exactly where it goes. Okay. Now I've got the mic gain all the way open. I do have the modulation turned up on this radio, so it may show a little fluff, a little bit of harmonics, but let's see what it does. Keep in mind, I only have a 50 amp power supply too. Hello, 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 audio, audio, 1 1 1 1 1 1. Hello, 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 audio, check, 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 1 1. Now let's turn the mic where I know it's clean. Hello, 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 audio, audio, hello, 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 audio, 1 1 1 1. We lose some power there, but I know the radio's like super clean right there. See? But I run it all the way open. Sounds better. Doesn't sound too nasty. So, hello, 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 audio. Hello, 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 audio. Hello, 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 audio, audio. So that's how you would set this up. Now stand by. I'm going to take this amp off. I'm going to get another amp. So that way I can show you another amp's going to call for a different dead key. Stand by. Okay folks, I hooked the other amp up. I haven't tried to pre-calibrate it or anything. Just got done screwing the coaxes on. This is also a straight 4 pill. This has I just said them, the transistors we all use. I forgot the name of the dang things now. Oh, HGs. HG 2879, not C's, just regular standard HG2879s. The way this amp is set up, you know, this probably needs 100 watt PEP to drive it to its full potential. But you know, it'll show us something here. So I have not touched the power on the radio. We're on the 5-watt scale. I'm going to key it. There's that exact same 1.4. Okay, it's 1.4. Now I'm going to put this back on the 250 scale, just with the other amp. All I'm going to do is turn the amplifier on. Everything's exactly the same, and I'm going to key it. So this one's getting probably like 65 watts or so of a dead key. So I would have to increase the dead key on the radio to run this amplifier, which that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it while I key up here. Okay, we've got it back up to that 100 watts because 25 watts per transistor output. Let's go to the 1000 watt scale, make sure it jives, which it does. Now we'll go back to the 5-watt scale. I'm going to turn the amplifier off and we're keying just the radio only, and we'll see what that translates to. Looks about a 2.2 or a 2.3 watt dead key. Yeah, we'll say a 2.2, 2.2 and a half. So you see how this amplifier wants more dead key from the radio. So that's why you shouldn't just, you know, set your radio for a 1 watt, 2 watt, 3 watt, whatever. You really have to hook your amp up. You need a radio with variable power. You run your variable power up with your meter until you get the desired output that the amplifier calls for. Now if you don't have a radio with variable power on the front of it, such as one of these Galaxies here, or a Striker like this, or a Connex that has the, you know, these are all variable power radios. You know, this is a 150 watt radio, but I'm just using this for an example. This doesn't have a variable power. This has a high and a low. So if you were going to run this into a big amplifier, you would need to go in the radio, probably put it on low power, adjust it internally. Same thing with these Cobras. Most of these Cobras, you have to adjust that. Usually you'll put a swing mod in one of these, and you can use a different value of resistor to get the dead key where you want it, or you can add variable power to any of these radios, but you just can't take one of these radios and hook it up. Even this President HR2510 here, you can go inside and adjust it, but it does not have external RF power like, you know, the Galaxy does. Like none of these other radios here. These all have a swing kit or swing mod, and they've all been, you know, these are adjustable internally. You can take the covers off and turn a potentiometer that's been installed to adjust your dead key correctly. You would do it the same way I showed you on there. Just instead of doing, you know, using the knob, you would use a little screwdriver to adjust internally. This one has a resistor, a fixed resistor. I think it gives it like a 2 watt dead key, 1.5 watt dead key. So you kind of got to be careful what you can run with this one. In my opinion, it's always best to get a radio with variable power. These Galaxy 959s are great, or you should really have it put into your radio so you can run it with an amplifier, because I mean, all these amplifiers, you know, this is a little 2-pill, this is a 2-pill, this is a 4-pill, this is a 2-pill. You know, we got the straight 4 500, and we got the 667 down here. That's a 1 driving 4. two pill, two pill, two pill, but they're all different transistors. They all require a different amount of drive. You know, some you can drive high on the top end. Some of them only want, 20 or 25 watts, where, the Texas Star High Drive, it's only a two pill, but, you can drive 50 watts into this. You do your low dead key, whatever it takes, a watt and a half, 2 watts, whatever it may be, and you can drive 50 watts in this because it's a high drive. Something like this 1x4 down here, it's 12290 driving four 2879s. That's going to take under a watt of dead key, like maybe 3/4, 7/8 of a watt, really low. And drive about 35 watts top in. That's all this amplifier needs, and it'll produce its full output. So, there's a lot of different variables. I know it's a long video, it's all convoluted and everything else, but I'm just, for the newbies out there who want to know, it's not a one size fits all for a dead key for an amplifier. Every one of these amplifiers would take a different dead key. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to hook another one up for you guys. Stand by. Here, but before I do that, let's go to the 1000-watt scale. Let's see what this amp here will do. Hello, 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 audio, audio. Hello, 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 1111. Like I said, I really don't have the power supply to run this thing, but, PEP numbers look pretty good there for what I have. Stand by. Okay, so I've decided to grab the Texas Star DX350 high drive. Haven't tried it, guys. We're going to do it together. We're going to see what kind of a dead key this needs, whether it needs more or less. What I'm going to do on this, I'm going to go ahead and leave it exactly where it was for that last amp, that 307 straight 4, and I'm going to put it on the 50-watt scale, and I'm going to dead key just the radio. Oh no, 5-watt scale, my bad. There's that same 2.2, 2.2.5, give or take. So we're going to go to the 250 scale. I'm going to turn on this 350, and we're just going to key up for a second and see what it does. Here we go. 175 watt dead key, like nothing. That's because it's too much dead key. That 2.2 watts is too high of a dead key. So I'm going to turn the RF power all the way down on the radio with the amplifier on. And let's see, this has two 2879, so this would be a, according to them, it would be 50 watt dead key. Let's go to a 50 watt dead key. Turn the RF power up. Actually, this one's going to need more just because of the way it's acting. Let me turn the mic gain off because I got some chatter in the radio. Okay, this one seems like it would be happy right about there because the relays wouldn't latch up that low. So that's probably about, that's 75, that's about a 75 watt dead, about a 70 watt dead key, two 2879s in there. Let's go ahead and turn the amp off and see what that gets us. Go on the 5 watt scale there. See, that gets us about 0.6 of a watt. So you can see how every amplifier reacts differently. And that's just the way it is. That's why you really need to turn your variable power up with the amplifier on, with the mic gain off, set the dead key where it needs to be. Then you can talk and you can be safe. And just for the heck of it, let's see what this one does. I'll put the mic gain where I know it's a real clean radio here. 1000 watt scale. Hello, 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 audio, audio, hello, 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 audio. About 325. Let's turn the mic gain. Let's crank her open here. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Audio, audio, hello, hello, 1111 on. This little 350 works real good. But hopefully this helps someone out there. I know it's a long video, but I tried to be detailed to help you guys out. Y'all be good out there.